So, welcome to the tutorial of the ACSM data visualization project available on GitLab of IRIS-ICAR. Today, I will show you how to use the dashboard in order to visualize ACSM data and to interact with them. First, after the launch of the application, use the file input widget to send a file to the application in NASA AIMS format. So I will send it a file. An example of this file with 2 lines of data can be found in the README file in the GitLab project. Once the file sent, wait a few seconds before the appearance of the dashboard. The main part of the application is the figure with its graphs and its toolbar. The interactive layer is inserted by a set of widgets on the left and under the figure. They allow user to interact with both datasets and figure. Moreover, a pie chart in the bottom right-hand corner provides an overall view on the atmospheric composition. So, first of all, I will show you how to visualize several datasets at the same time. The multi-choice widget called datasets on the left is the most important widget of the dashboard. In fact, it allows a user to select various datasets at the same time in order to visualize them. Datasets can be deleted by clicking on the cross at the top right corner. Please keep in mind that one dataset has always to be selected in order to prevent bugs coming from an empty figure. So, for example, I will add a new dataset, and this one, for example. So, you can notice that each dataset has its own color. Consequently, when the user selects a new dataset, the correct title is dynamically added with the color assigned to the dataset, which means the color of the dots. The title contains information about the selected dataset, and these information are read in the file. Furthermore, the legend is dynamically updated. This legend is interactive. The user can hide the glyphs by clicking on the legend item, just like this. Finally, a hover tool displays information about data when the user moves the mouse over a dot. This tool indicates a date, which means the value in abscissa, and an ordinate. The units of the ordinates can be read in the title, just right here. And the color of the dot is also specified in the hover tool. Next, I will show you how to change the period of the datasets that are on screen. So, this drop-down menu called period enables a change of the period of each selected dataset. In concrete terms, this widget is useful when the user deals with large datasets to reduce the number of dots on screen. Please note that this widget is only available if the default datasets period is lower or equal than 5 minutes. The options are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 minutes, and default, of course. An important remark is that a change of the period does not spread to the file. Data read remained undamaged. So now I will show you how to show or hide invalid data range. So this button called Show Hide Invalid allows user to display the invalid data range. It corresponds to the union of invalid time intervals. An invalid interval is an interval during which data are not kept. The invalid characteristic of data is specified in the file by a flag number. If the data is invalid, this flag is equal to 0. Please note that the invalid data range is the same for all datasets. Now we will focus on the 3 columns of widgets under the figure. So the first column is called controls for x-axis. This column enables interaction with x-axis in order to change its scale. 3 buttons called 1 month, 6 months, and all allow user to easily modify the scale. For example, if I click on this one, the scale is dynamically updated, and I can reset by clicking on all. Plus, a slider can be used by left clicking and sliding the mouse, just like this. The other column is called controls for y-axis. This column of widgets enables interaction with y-axis in order to change its scale. A slider allows user to do that, as well as a slider allows user to change the scale of the y-axis. And 2 spinners allow user to do the same. For example, you can change the scale by writing respectively values for lower and upper bounds of y-axis. For example, if I choose 5 here and 20 here, you can see that the scale has been dynamically updated on the figure. Then a reset button answers the reset of the scale. Then the third column is covered statistics for atmospheric components. In fact, the user can use a button to generate statistics for ACSM species that are on screen thanks to this button. Once the user clicked on it, it becomes unavailable until a new interaction with the multi-choice widget. So here, if I click on the button, I have statistics for the 2 datasets that have been selected in the box. We have classic statistics, which are minimum, maximum, arithmetic mean, and standard deviation. Please note that these statistics are calculated for all data, statistics will not change if the user zooms in or zooms out, for example. Then another important widget of the dashboard is a drop-down menu called graphical representation. It enables a change of graphical representation for all glyphs on screen. This widget allows user to switch between scattered plots and a stacked vertical bar chart. Please note that the scatter plot is the default graphical representation that is selected when the user launches the application. Now I will choose the stacked vertical bar chart. You just have to wait a few seconds before the complete appearance of the chart, because it requires several calculus for the computer. So here we have our new representation. The stock vertical bar charts are commonly used by researchers who deal with ACSM data. In fact, I will zoom in to explain you how you can read the chart. So if I zoom in right here, for example, so you can see that we zoomed in the plot. So for each entry of time data, several bars are placed on top of each other. For example, here you have a black bar which corresponds to the organic matter, and a purple bar which corresponds to the second dataset that has been selected. In fact, the height of these bars corresponds to the value in ordinate of each selected dataset. Stock bar charts are very useful to highlight the dominance of a specific chemical species over the time. For example, the time below clearly For example, this graph clearly shows that organic matter dominates in terms of concentration over the other species. You also have over tool, which displays a date, which means the value in abscissa, the ordinate, and the name of the dataset. Then I will show you how to use the toolbar attached to the figure. So this toolbar enables interaction with the figure. It provides 10 widgets, which are a pan tool, allowing the user to move over the figure using the mouse. So I will switch on scatterplot to facilitate the use of the toolbar. So you can use the pan tool just like this. You can use a box zoom tool to zoom in the figure by drawing a rectangle. So if I do this, then you have two others box zoom tools, which are a box zoom tool in x-axis and a box zoom tool in the y-axis. For this box zoom tool, you can only zoom in x-axis, which means that the scale of x-axis remains unmodified. That is the same for the y-axis. The scale of the x-axis remains unmodified. Then you have a wheel zoom tool, allowing the allowing the user to zoom in the figure by using the wheel. And finally, you have the undo tool, the redo tool, the reset tool. You have also a save tool to save the figure as an image. And finally, the over tool, which can be disabled by clicking on the button. So, just like this. To conclude, I will show you how to read the pie chart. So this pie chart in the bottom right-hand corner provides an overview on the atmospheric composition. It presents the percentage of the ACSM species in the atmospheric composition through over tool. Colors are classic colors used by researchers to represent ACSM species. So if you move over the chart, you can see over tool, which displays the percentage of the ACSM species in the atmospheric composition. Please note that the pie chart does not change during the use of the application. In fact, it remains the same during the use. I think that's all for the tutorial. So if you have any question, any interrogation, please feel free to contact to contact me by email, for example.